This motherboard in front of me may look like nothing more than a collection of tiny components, but every component has a purpose. And with this simple tool like this multimeter here, we can begin to understand what is happening electrically inside a computer motherboard. But repair goes beyond this motherboard. A computer is a combination of hardware and software. It has to work in two pairs. Understanding how these two works together is what makes you a real computer technician. In this class, we are going back to the foundation of computer repair. We talk about the hardware, the motherboard, the processor, the memory, storage, power circuits, electronic component, and how to diagnose faults using proper testing techniques. We also look into the software side, the operating system, the drivers, the BIOS, applications, boot processors, boot chips, and common problems that can affect a computer. Because repairing isn't simply about replacing what is damaged. It's about understanding the system and finding faults, identifying cause, and applying the correct solution. So if you are ready to understand computers from the inside and the outside, let's start with the foundation of computer repairs. And basically, when you're looking at this motherboard, you will see a whole lot of components here. Right now, I want to make you understand something. Each and every of these components is working together to achieve a goal. That is why they say the computer is an electronic device that accepts data, processes data, and gives it as an information. This is an electronic device, right? Because it is working electronically, and it accepts data, which accepts data simply means what you input into the system, and processes data is simply the interaction between the hardwares and the softwares, and processing it and giving it as an information is simply the outcome, that is the output of what you've given to the computer after the processing is done. So basically, this is a computer motherboard or a laptop motherboard. As a technician, you will need to understand each and every single SMD component on this motherboard. And when we talk about SMD components, we talk about this component that you can visibly see with your eyes. Basically, everything on this motherboard is called an SMD component, because SMD simply means surface mounted devices. So this is a printed PCB where all these components has been embedded on just in a surface of this PCB. So that is why we call it surface mounted devices. These components are being embedded on top of this PCB that has already been printed, including the CPU, which is the processor. Now, this is how it goes. Now, for you to be able to understand computer, or being a computer repairer or a technician, you will first of all try to understand their circuit. We have the power rail circuits, we have the charging circuits, we have the 3.3 circuit, we have the 5.1 circuits, a whole lot of circuits on the motherboard. But basically, you are going to learn first of all the major components, which you have, like the BIOS chip, the MOSFETs, the capacitors, the resistors. Few of these things are what you need to know firstly as a beginner. In every computer motherboard, the first component you need to pay attention to is the BIOS chip. This is an important SMD component in every computer motherboard. The BIOS chip communicates with the hardware and the software. Think of it like this: the BIOS is what sends signal to the startup chips on this motherboard, which interacts with the hardware and software. It's just like a signal chip which sends information to the startup chip, like the SMC chip, the EMM chip. It sends signals to those chips, and those chips sends information to the CPU, which will tell the system to start up. So this basically works hand in hand. So firstly, as a repairer or as a technician, you need to understand how this BIOS chip works. it interacts with the hardware and the software. Then after that, we look at the MOSFET. The MOSFET, think of it this way, is like a switch which controls the voltage flow. That is why sometimes we can call it voltage regulators. MOSFET components are what regulates voltage. I want to make you understand something. Some motherboards, these are the BIOS chip here. Some motherboard, we have 2 BIOS chip, while some motherboard we have only 1 BIOS chip. If you want to learn how to identify the BIOS chip very fast, I've already dropped a video in my channel. You can check it out. This is the BIOS chip, and we only have 1 BIOS chip on this motherboard. But on this case, on this motherboard, we have 2 BIOS chip. Why is it like that? Some systems you can even find up to 3 BIOS chip. This is just the configuration of the laptop. But in all these, whether 1 BIOS chip, 2 BIOS chip, 3 BIOS chip, all of them are working with the hardware, which is they interact with the hardware and the software at the same time to be able to control the system SI units. So that is just it. So after learning about the BIOS chip, you learn about the MOSFET, which is very important. You know how the MOSFET works, the interaction between the hardware and the softwares. The MOSFET is another important thing that plays a role. If this MOSFET is faulty, the system cannot turn on. It depends on the power rail or the rail that is shorted on the motherboard. If it's on the main power rail, it's going to stop the system from coming on. If it's from maybe like every other circuit, that is not really important. There is no circuit that is not important on this motherboard, but on this case, there are systems that do have graphics card, right? Those systems that do have graphics card also has their own circuit now. Like we have this chipset here now. This graphics card here, this is a circuit on its own, this is a circuit on its own, this is a circuit on its own, and all these circuits has their own MOSFETs. You understand, right? So if the issue is not coming from the main power rail, or maybe from the 3.3, or maybe from the 5.1 power rails, if the issue is not coming from there, definitely this system can turn on, but might not be able to kind of display, or it may turn on and turn off back. Maybe just show you the power light and turn off, and maybe if any MOSFET is shorted, depending on the circuit that is being shorted, you understand. But if it's on the main power rail, on maybe on the battery circuit, or maybe on the 3.3 circuit, maybe 5.1 circuit, or even around the BQ chip, which is the power management chip, definitely these components, MOSFETs, or that particular system, definitely that particular system will not work out. After you must have learned about the MOSFET, we learn the capacitors. After we are done learning the capacitors, we learn the resistors. After we are done learning the resistors, we learn the current resistor. After we are done learning the current resistor, we talk about other chips, a lot of chips, the diode chips, the BQ chip, the coils on this motherboard, a whole lot of them. So I made an illustration talking about how the MOSFET works and all that. Now, a MOSFET has 3 legs. MOSFET has 3 legs, and these 3 legs comes in 8 pins, right? Now, I want to make you understand something. I made this illustration. Now, this illustration goes like this. Let's call this a MOSFET, and if you want to count, sometimes you will have a dot, not sometimes. A MOSFET has 3 legs, right? But with 8 pins, right? Now, you have a dot on the MOSFET like this. You have a dot. Now, from that dot that you have, we call this, you can call it the number 1 pin or the number 4 pin. Now, I usually like calling it number 4 pin. When you call it number 4 pin, you count down 4, 3, 2, 1. We count this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, that particular point you have the dot, you count 1, 2, 3 is going to be the source. Now the 4th pin is going to be the gate, and the ones at the back, which is the 4 pins at the back, they are being connected together which will have 19 volts, which will have the drain, that is what you call it, and the drain also is always having the 19 volts present, which is 19 volts, positive 19 volts present here now on the drain. Now what is required for this MOSFET to work, for this MOSFET to pass voltage from the drain to the source, is a voltage that is coming from the BQ chip, which is the power management chip. 25 volts goes into the gate, which allows voltage to move from the drain to the source. So this is basically how a MOSFET works. 25 volts comes in from the power management chips, comes into the gate, and it allows voltage to move from the drain to the source, which by doing this, it will switch on the MOSFET onto the next one. That is how it just continue working and all that. And we call this the first breakdown MOSFET on the main power rail. We call this the N-channel MOSFETs, right? We usually have two MOSFETs there, which have the first MOSFET and the second MOSFET, and both of them are doing the same job. The first MOSFET switch, the second MOSFET then turns on and switch to, that is just the calculation and the movement. So that is just the flow of electrical, or maybe like current, the flow of electrical current. So you need to understand this. Then after you talk about the MOSFETs, like I said, you talk about the SMD ceramics capacitors. This is always secret to short circuits, open circuits, and a few things that can make a system not to come on. So this is basically the foundation of any computer repair. We have the BIOS chip, the MOSFETs, SMD capacitors, SMD capacitors, SMD resistors. We talk about the SMC. Okay, look at the SMC chip, SMSC chip, right? It's like the startup chip. And in some motherboard, you can have the NA chip, which is also, this can be the startup chip. Look here, you see ENE, that's like the NA chip. This is also the startup chip. So the BIOS communicate with these chips, to start up and send signal to the CPU, which make the system to start up. And the CPU, we already know what the CPU is, the central processing unit. And the CPU, we already know how the CPU works. This is the central processing unit, which does over 80% job in every computer motherboard. All these circuits on this motherboard is being connected together to work for this CPU, for us to get the CPU working. That is just it. So that's all you need to know for now concerning electronic systems. And when we talk about the software, the BIOS interact with the software. That is why most times you enter to the BIOS menu, enter to the BIOS menu, or you enter from the BIOS setup. You can set your software, both the booting processes and all other dictations that you need on the motherboard, and maybe kind of the software and all that. Maybe set your system to legacy, UEFI and all that. You understand? So it's not really difficult as that. In our next video, we are going to continue. I believe basically you've been able to understand. I'll see you on the next one. This is ICT Doctor. Thanks for being with us.